A very good morning to all of you. This is mathematics class of grade 8 and today I am here with lecture number 1 of chapter number 3, understanding quadrilaterals. Dear children, you have already learnt about curves, open and closed curves, polygons, quadrilaterals, etc. Now in this chapter number 3 we shall review, revise, and strengthen those concepts, and we shall also learn the properties of quadrilaterals, angle sum property of a quadrilateral, types of quadrilaterals, properties of parallelogram, properties of rhombus, properties of rectangle and square. So, these are all the subtopics which we are going to cover in this chapter number 3, understanding quadrilaterals. So let us talk about the topics which I am going to cover in this lecture number 1. So dear children, these are the topics which I am going to cover in this lecture number 1. Firstly, we shall have the introduction of this chapter number 3. In this introduction part, I shall discuss about curves. Then further, I shall move to the discussion of polygons, classification of polygons. Then we shall move to types of polygons and angle sum property of polygons. So these are all the topics which we will be covering in this lecture number 1. Let us see the introduction part. Now in this introduction part, we shall study about curves or plane curves, you can say. And we should have an idea of plane surface. Firstly, let us see what is this plane surface. Basically, flat surfaces are known as planes. Flat surfaces are known as planes. The surface on which I am writing is considered as a plane surface. For example, you can take another examples like page of your notebook, top of a table, floor of a room, etc. are all plane surfaces or planes. So I hope, dear children, you have understood about planes or plane surfaces. Let us talk about now plane curves. If we put the sharp tip of a pencil on a sheet of paper and move from one point to another without lifting the pencil, then the shape so obtained are called plane curves. I am repeating it. If, for example, you can say, if I put this tip of my marker on this sheet or on this plane surface and I am moving it without lifting the tip of my marker, the shape so obtained is known as plane curve. You can see I have made this shape without lifting the tip of my marker. So this shape is considered as plane curve. It can be this shape because I have not lifted the tip of my marker. So, if we put the sharp tip of a pencil on a sheet of paper and move from one point to the other without lifting the pencil, then the shapes so obtained are called plane curves. So, let us draw few plane curves. Now, you can see some plane curves I am making. Some plane curves can be made as shown below. This is one of the curve I have shown without lifting the tip of my pencil or tip of my marker. Then this shape I have made. This is again a plane curve. The next shape can be like this. Another shape can be like this. It can be like this. It can be like this. You can see all these are plane curves. I have not lifted the tip of my marker. So these are all plane curves. Now further in these plane curves, we have open curve. Let us talk about open curve. The curves which have different beginning and end points are called open curves. So, the curves which have different beginning and end points are called open curves. So, let us see or make few open curves. You can see open curve as this is an open curve. The curves which have different beginning, beginning point is different and its end point is different. So this is an open curve. Another can be like this. Its beginning point is different and end point is again different. Another type of open curve can be its beginning point is different and its end point is different. So these are all the open curves. Let us talk about now closed curve. So what is a closed curve? The curve which has same beginning and end points is called closed curve. Simple as this. If a curve has same beginning and end point is called closed curve. So let us see now closed curve. A closed curve can be made in the manner like this. This has same beginning and end point. I have started this curve from this point and I have ended at this point. So this is a closed curve. Another example can be like this. If I am making a curve like this, I have started this curve from this point and I have ended this curve at this point. So this is again a closed curve. So let us talk about now about simple curve. So what is a simple curve? A curve which does not cross itself at any point is called a simple curve. So what is a simple curve? A curve which does not cross itself at any point is called a simple curve. So let us see now about simple curves, or I will be telling you, or I will be making the figure of simple curves. So one of the figure of simple curve can be like this. This is not crossing itself at any point. Another figure can be like this. This is a simple curve. It is not crossing itself at any point. Or you can have an example or the figure which we have made for the closed curve. That is, it can be made like this. This is again not intersecting or crossing itself at any point. So all these are simple curves. It can be open or it can be closed. You can see this is an open curve, but it is also a simple curve. You can see this is a closed curve, but it is a simple curve also. This is again a closed curve. Again, it is a simple curve. So I hope, dear children, you have understood about simple curves, open curves and closed curve. Next comes the polygons. So what are these polygons? A simple closed curve made up of only line segments is called a polygon. So how will you define a polygon, or what are polygons? A simple closed curve made up of only line segments is called a polygon. There should be three characteristics of a polygon. Firstly, it should be a simple curve. Second, it should be a closed curve. Third, it should be made up of line segments. So, we have learned the definition of simple closed curve, and so that is how we can find out what are polygons and what are not polygons, which curves are polygons and which curves are not polygons. So let us see few examples of the figures wherein you can find out the polygons. So the figures or the curves that are polygons, it can be like this. It can be like this. I will be speaking the definition of polygons again. Firstly, it should be a simple curve. It should be closed. It should be a closed curve, and it should be made of line segments. These 3 points you need to check to find out whether the given figure is a polygon or not. Let us talk about this figure, first figure. It is a simple curve. How can we say that? A simple curve is that curve which does not intersect or cross itself at any point. So you can see this is not crossing itself at any point. So this is a simple curve. Closed curve, is it closed? Why is it closed? Yes, definitely it is closed, because I have started making the figure from this end and I have ended this figure at the same point. So this is again a closed curve and it is made up of line segments. So this is a polygon. Now let us talk about this. Is it a simple curve? Yes, definitely, because it is a curve which does not cross itself at any point. So it is a simple curve. It is made up of line segments and it is a closed curve. So this is again a polygon. Let us talk about few more figures. Let us talk about this figure and this figure. Now, as I told you, 3 conditions should be satisfied. First, is it a simple curve? No, because it is crossing itself at this point. So this is not a simple curve. So we can say this is not a polygon. Again, this is not a simple curve. So this is not a polygon. So I hope, dear children, you have understood about polygons. Now let us talk about sides, vertices and diagonals of a polygon. So what are sides, vertices and diagonals of a polygon? The line segments firstly I will be discussing the definition, and then with the help of a figure I will be explaining sides, vertices and diagonals. The line segments forming a polygon are called sides, its sides. So these line segments forming a polygon are called its sides. So let us talk about vertices now. Let us see the vertices or the vertex. The meeting point of a pair of sides, is called a vertex. Let us see about the diagonals now. The line segments formed by joining non-adjacent vertices are called diagonals of the polygon. So I have told you the definition. Now with the help of a figure, I will be explaining sides, vertices and diagonals. So let us see the figure A, B, C, D, and E. ABCD is a polygon. So let us find the sides first. So what is the definition of sides? The line segments forming a polygon are called its sides. So it has 5 sides. The sides are AB, this is one side, AB, BC, CD, DE, and EA. So these are all the sides. The line segments forming a polygon are called its sides. So these are all the 5 sides. What about the vertices now? The vertices, the definition of a vertex or vertices is the meeting point of a pair of sides is called a vertex of the polygon. So it has 5 vertices, like this is one vertex, A, B, C, D, and E. These are all the 5 vertices. Now let us talk about the diagonals. The line segments formed by joining non-adjacent vertices are called diagonals of the polygon. These are adjacent vertices. So we want the line segments formed by joining non-adjacent vertices. So that will be the diagonal. So the line segments AC, I am making the diagonals with the dotted line. These are non-adjacent line segments. So AC, this AD, BD, BE, and CE. These are all the line segments formed by joining non-adjacent vertices. So AD, AC, BD, BE, and CE are all the diagonals of the polygon. So I hope, dear children, you have understood sides, vertices, and diagonals. Let us talk about now types of polygons. In this types of polygons, we need to study about convex and concave polygons. What are convex and concave polygons? We will see. Let us talk about convex polygons first. A polygon in which each interior angle is less than 180 degree is called a convex polygon. So a polygon in which each interior angle is less than 180 degree is called a convex polygon. Let us talk definition of concave polygon. What is a concave polygon? A polygon in which at least one interior angle is greater than 180 degree is called a concave polygon. So a polygon in which at least one interior angle is greater than 180 degree is called a concave polygon. So let us see the figures now of convex and concave polygons. Firstly, I am making the figures of convex polygons. As the definition goes, a polygon in which at least one interior angle is less than 180 degree is called a convex polygon. So this is an example of convex polygon. Another example can be this. It can be like this. You can see the angles are less than 180 degrees. So these are convex polygons. Let us talk about now concave polygons. So the figures of concave polygons, it can be, as the definition is, a polygon in which at least one interior angle is greater than 180 degree is called a concave polygon. So the figure can be like this. You can see this angle, it is more than 180 degree. So this is a concave polygon. Another example can be like this. This again is 100 and more than 180 degree. So you can see clearly these are concave polygons. Further, in these types of polygons, we need to study about regular and irregular polygons. Let us talk about first regular polygon. So what is a regular polygon? A polygon which has all its sides of equal length and all its interior angles of equal measure. Equal measure. So a polygon which has all its sides of equal length and all its interior angles of equal measure is called a regular polygon. So let us see the figure of regular polygon now. An example of regular polygon can be an equilateral triangle, because we know that in equilateral triangle the measurement of all the angles is 60 degree and its all the sides are also equal. So this is an example of regular polygon. Another example can be a square. So equilateral triangle and square, these are the examples of regular polygon. Let us talk about now irregular polygon. So irregular polygon, what is it? A polygon which is not regular, is called irregular polygon. It means in irregular polygon, the sides can be of different measurement and angles can also be of different measurement. So a polygon which is not regular is called irregular polygon. So for irregular polygon, you can see the examples as. So an example of irregular polygon can be rectangle. You can see, dear children, in rectangle, all the angles are of equal measurement, but all the sides are not equal. Opposite sides are equal, but all the sides or the adjacent sides are not equal. So a rectangle is an example of irregular polygon. So we can say that a rectangle is equiangular. It means all the angles are equal, but all of its sides are not equal. So it is an irregular polygon. Let us talk about now rhombus. In rhombus, all the sides are equal, but the angles are not equal. So rhombus has all the sides equal, but it is not equiangular. It means angles are different, but sides are equal. So it is again an example of irregular polygon. So let us talk about angle sum property of a polygon. Dear children, in your class 7, you have learnt that sum of all the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Now we are supposed to find the angle sum property of a polygon. So let us see now. Let us take a quadrilateral ABCD. So I am making a quadrilateral So the quadrilateral is A, B, C and D. Divide it into two triangles. I am dividing it into two triangles. So triangle ABC and triangle ACD. So there are two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle ACD. Now I have made a diagonal AC, so I have divided it into two triangles. Now we have six angles. Let us say this is angle 1, this is angle 2, this is angle 3, this is angle 4, this angle is 5 and this angle is 6. So you can see we have 6 angles. Now by angle sum property, by angle sum property of a triangle, in triangle ABC, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. You can see these are the three angles of triangle ABC, and you must have learnt in your class 7 that sum of all the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. Now in triangle ACD, angle 4 plus angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degree. Now in quadrilateral ABCD, we have two triangles. So we have four angles, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D. So we will be adding all these angles to get the sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral ABCD. So let us proceed further now. In quadrilateral ABCD, we have four angles, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D. So I am adding all the angles. Angle A is equal to angle 1 plus angle 6. So in place of angle A, I am writing angle 1 plus angle 6. Angle B is equal to angle 2. You can see clearly in the figure. Angle C is equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. So angle 3 plus angle 4 plus D is equal to angle 5. So these are all the angles. Now from the previous equations we have seen the sum of angle 1 plus 2 plus 3. So this is angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3. So we can write in place of all these three angles, we can write 180 degree. Plus in place of angle 4, 5 and 6, we can write again 180 degree. So the total sum comes out to be 360 degree. So you can see, dear children, sum of measures of all the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. You can see here we got the sum as sum of measures of all the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. Now let us talk about classification of polygons. If number of sides equals 3, then it will be a triangle. If number of sides equal 4, then it will be a quadrilateral. If number of sides equal 5, then it will be a pentagon. If it is 6, then it will be a hexagon. If it is 7, then it will be a heptagon. Likewise, you can have the classification on the basis of number of sides. I hope you have already learnt in your previous class and you must have recalled it again. So it's time for the homework now. Dear children, you are supposed to complete question number 1 to question number 3 of exercise 3.1 in your NCERT book, and please do revise the concepts taught in this lecture number 1. So dear children, basically we have learnt about types of curves in this chapter: open curve, closed curve, simple curves. Then we have learnt the definition of polygons, classification of polygons, types of polygons, and finally the angle sum property of polygon. So on the basis of these concepts, I hope, dear children, you will be capable enough to complete these 3 questions in your book, and you are supposed to revise the concepts taught of this lecture number 1. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.